UK, in time in England when you were playing soccer, Alex Ferguson, Graham Taylor, Ron Atkinson, and of course Jack Charlton. The four of those, all very different characters, treated you in very different ways. Could you just talk a little bit maybe about, what was their different approaches, and which were the approaches that were best for you at the time?
I think Ron treated me very well, but I think Ron's whole point was to do as well for the club as he could. I think Ron treated me well because he thought I was a very good player. But I think when the money was discussed and stuff like that about me getting a good wage and things like that, I think Ron thought because I was from Ireland and I was very quiet, I was very shy, I didn't really speak up for myself and stuff like that. So I think he got me for as little as possible, and that was his job. So I should have had no complaints about that because he got me for lower wages than I was getting back in Ireland. So I was probably wiser than I thought when I was thinking, should I go or should I not? Because I was getting £101, I think, over there, and about 150 something over back in Ireland. So Ron, that was Ron. Ron always wanted to do a good deal for the club he was working for. So I was a bit aggrieved by that, but I loved him because he used to come out on the pitch and play the five-a-sides with us and have the in-stitches, So there was two sides to that. He was, and if you met him in a disco and stuff like that, he'd just tell you to go home. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't read the riot act. He'd fine you from time to time, but you didn't mind that either. And then when Alex came, my world kind of fell apart.
It was night and day, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I'd heard from one of the older boys that even before he arrived at Old Trafford, that he didn't want me playing for them. So there was no way I could prove myself to him that I was a good player. He might have seen me play somewhere, but he just said he didn't want me at the club. And he'd every right to do what he did with me and Norman, I think.
And you speak about that, Paul, on the basis, like you say, a lot of time that he was right to be aggrieved with you, disappointed with you, angry with you. You seem to have very much sort of accepted all of his maybe at times irrational responses and maybe forgave him, or at least put it in the past.
Yeah, I would have loved him to play at Manchester because I'd just signed I think it was when Ron was there, I'd signed a 7-year contract.
Right. And yet you only lasted 2 years.
Yeah, I only stayed there a couple of years, and I remember thinking, this is ridiculous. Like that someone would want you out when you've just signed. And I think I don't know which player of the year I got, but I think I got it 2 years in a row at that stage. So I was thinking to myself, well, I've got to be doing something right. But the thing that I was doing wrong was that I was still drinking. And I mean, that overrode everything that I was trying to do right. I still had so many insecurities that I just, I needed, if someone invited you to a party, I wanted to be drunk before I got in the car to go to the party. And that used to spoil things for me. And again, that was just me feeling uncomfortable in my own skin. I wanted to walk in a little bit drunk and then start drinking probably heavier when I got to the place. I'm scared of people. I don't like talking in public and all that. But if you put me on a football pitch and tell me to do something, then I'll do it, and I'll probably do it properly.